Hello everyone, Weather Jamaica here. Welcome to this updated video on the weather across Jamaica and the rest of the Caribbean. It is Wednesday evening, December 20, 2023. Now before we jump into it, please ensure that you guys like the video, share it, subscribe and tap notification bell so that you'll be notified every time I post a brand new video. Feel free to leave a comment down in the comment section letting me know what weather has been like in your area recently. Also feel free to ask any weather related question that you might have about the future of the weather in your specific area. Alright, so let's just take a look at the surface map of the Atlantic for this evening. We can see that we still have that cold front stretching all the way from northern section of North Atlantic all the way down into portions of Haiti, and we can see it right there off the southeast coast of Jamaica. If we take a look at the visible satellite images of the Atlantic before the sun went down, we can see the flow of winds and low-level clouds pushing down from the United States all the way down into portions of the Bahamas, Cuba, and all of that is expected to make it into the Jamaica area by tomorrow. So we're going to be getting some more cooler than average temperatures, more clouds across the north coast of Jamaica to bring forth a lot of relief rainfall, and I'll be breaking down what relief rainfall is later on. But let us focus our attention on what happened across Jamaica for today. So unfortunately yesterday a video wasn't posted. I was having some issues with my internet. You know how Flow can be. So we can see that at 8:41 a.m. on Wednesday, we still had some amount of clouds coming in from the northeast, bringing some overcast skies and maybe some isolated showers in there across sections of the north coast. So definitely sections of Trelawney, St. Anne, St. James, not St. James, St. Mary, Portland, gotten on some of that, and then by afternoon, majority of it cleared up. And we even had some of our commenters confirming the weather that they were experiencing. Digital Dynamo Design stating, right now my community cold like Canada. Winsome Foster stating, Junction St. Elizabeth has been cold and windy and there has been no rainfall since Monday. And this is what we're talking about. A post that was made on our Twitter page. Keep in mind that these posts aren't only made on our Twitter page, but our Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok page. So if you have one of those social media platforms, please ensure that you follow us there. Because even when we don't post on our YouTube platform, we're definitely posting on those social media platforms. So you can see this post stating the Christmas breeze are going on itself, Want to notice it? And that was posted at 12:48 p.m. on Tuesday, December 19. And we saw the winds coming in from the north, definitely stronger in some areas than others, averaging anywhere from 15 to even gusting to 25 knots, or even more than that, maybe up to 30 or even 35 knots. And it came with a lot of cool temperatures, especially on the north coast. And we even had some confirmation of this. Maria Hitchens posting a video highlighting the leaves in her backyard, leaves everywhere enjoying the cool breeze. Even Sophia Earl posting a comment stating, God covered me this morning, the branch fell and luckily hit only the side of my car. And we can see this branch right here. So thank goodness nothing bad happened. Even on our Facebook page, we had comments coming in. Jean Silvera had so much work to do after it was done. Leaves and more leaves to rake up. The workout. Not for Miss Kerp. Like a log though. Really enjoying the cool weather. Stay safe, y'all. Shawnee Reynolds, Truman, yes, see it. Latoya Taylor, feeling it in St. Elizabeth, very cold. Carol Johnson, so true. Even on our Instagram page, we had the comments coming in. Certified Lover Girl stating, yep, feel nice. The Untamed Feline, yes, I must say I love how cool this December is. Sapphire William Marsh, 29, and stating, loving it. Wish it was like this year round. Earth Angel Sexiness stating, may love it. And there's a lot more comments, but there's too many comments to read actually. So we can see the visible satellite images of Jamaica before the sun went down. We still had that northeasterly flow by that prevailing wind across the island. Majority of the clouds that we saw across the north coast were clearing out by the late afternoon to early evening hours, but we still had some amount of clouds coming into sections of eastern Portland and eastern St. Thomas. And we can see all of what's happening right now on the infrared satellite images. Not much taking place across the island, but we do see some grays Maybe some clouds starting to shape up to make their way into sections of Portland and the St. Mary later on tonight with some amount of rainfall. And we can see it even better on the Cuban Doppler radar images, those long strings of green that represent light to moderate rainfall. And it's definitely in the forecast for the northeast. There could be some amount of isolated flash flooding, if not land slippages, taking place in Portland within the next 24 hours. Taking a look at the temperatures right now, we can say we have 25 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 24 degrees Celsius in Kingston, and by about 4 a.m. on Thursday, temperature should dip down to about 24 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 23 degrees Celsius in Kingston, and it could definitely be colder in some areas. Taking a look at the temperature forecast for tomorrow, this is what we love to see. Look at that, Jamaica embedded in some blues that represent 1 to 2 degrees Celsius below normal temperatures. This is valid for 18Z on Thursday. When we calculate that, that's about 1 p.m. on Thursday. So we know the average temperatures for the month of December are about 87 degrees Fahrenheit. On the thermometer, 87 degrees Fahrenheit is about the same as 30 degrees Celsius. So if we should be receiving 1 to 2 degrees Celsius or even more across the island for tomorrow, it should be anywhere from, let's say, 27 to 30 degrees Celsius for tomorrow's temperatures. And it should be even colder on the north coast where those winds are going to be even stronger. As it relates to the dry air map, we do see that all across the Atlantic basin we have a lot of dry air. The dry air is represented by what we see on the key at the bottom, the yellows, the oranges, the reds, the whites within those reds. And we do see that we still are being plagued by a lot of dry air across the Jamaica area. As it relates to the Saharan dust forecast, this is showing 2 p.m. on Thursday. We do see those browns that represent the Saharan dust. A majority of it is across the main development region and Africa. Jamaica should be in the clear at that time. As it relates to the wave forecast, we do see more so in the way of those purples that represent 2 meter wave heights, maybe 2 to 3 meter wave heights, and that's confined to sections of the northeast and the eastern portion of the island. And that's because we're gonna be getting in on those prevailing winds from the northeast. Look at that flow from the northeast, and we see a lot more yellows, some gold in there that represent 25 to 30 knot wind. And all of this is coming through what we refer to as the Windward Passage. That area right there between Haiti and Cuba is a nice little passageway for all of those nice prevailing winds from the northeast. And what usually comes with all of these prevailing winds is the relief rainfall that's definitely going to be taking shape across sections of the island tomorrow. What is relief rainfall though? It states here mild moist air comes in from the sea and is forced to rise as it arrives at some hills. So we know that right there, the mountainous section of Jamaica, the Blue Mountain Range, right across Portland. So we have all of those strong winds. That's definitely what's going to be happening. The air is going to be forced to rise, and it stays here as it rises, temperature drops, and the moisture in the air condenses to produce clouds and rain. So let us say we are right there on the border of St. Catherine and let's say maybe St. Mary, and we're looking eastward. So this side with the trees, the left side, is Portland side, and this side right here, the rain shadow side, that's Kingston and St. Andrew and St. Thomas side. So we can see that that's definitely what's going to be happening. The northeast winds coming in from the left, all of this air rising, forming clouds. Then we have a lot of condensation taking place, a lot of rainfall, and then by the time it gets to the south coast, the drier side, which is what we call the rain shadow side, all of that air is starting to descend, and we know what usually happens when we have dry, stinky air. We have little to no rainfall taking place. So the rainfall is definitely going to be confined to sections of, let's say, St. Anne, St. Mary, sections of Portland, maybe even spilling into the hills of St. Catherine, the hills of St. Andrew, the hills of St. Thomas, but it is not going to be making it far southward into the low-lying areas where most people lives. And this is definitely what we talk about when we're talking about relief rainfall. This is what Portland is used to getting. This is why they're always saying, oh, there's a lot of rainfall in Portland, the wettest parish, this and that. And there have been a lot of missing relief rainfall in the past couple of years. And with climate change, we're believing that there's more rainfall taking place across Western Jamaica these days than anything else. But it's nice to see that it's starting to mix up, kind of coming back to normal in a way. Either way, look at this. This is the Euro model, this is the GFS model. What do we see that both models are showing? We're seeing the blues that represent rainfall. What time is this? This is 12 a.m. Thursday. This is actually midnight tonight. And we see blues that represent rainfall across sections of St. James, Trelawney, St. Anne's, St. Mary, Portland, section of Eastern St. Thomas. The GFS, more so St. Anne, St. Mary, Portland, and Eastern St. Thomas at that time. Skipping ahead to about 7 a.m. on Thursday, much of the same. The blues that represent rainfall across the very same spots that we just mentioned. Skipping ahead to about 12 p.m., 12 noon on Thursday, same thing. Not much change. The very same areas with all of those strong northeast winds. It makes sense that it's gonna be quite a wet day for Portland, St. Mary, Eastern St. Thomas. Then look at that. Even by 5 p.m., we still have much in the way of rainfall taking place. The Euro is a bit more robust than the GFS at this time, showing some greens in there, maybe some heavier rainfall totals. Some of this rainfall looking to spill into sections of southern and western Jamaica, but that's on the Euro, not so much on the GFS. GFS a bit more white to show little to no rainfall across those areas, but we'll see exactly what unfolds during the late afternoon. And then finally, by around 9 p.m., we still see no difference, much of the same. Northern Jamaica, northeast Jamaica especially, getting in on most of that relief rainfall. And it makes sense that the accumulated precipitation forecast from the Euro and the GFS are showing so much red colors right there across the northeast. I know the reds represent up to an inch of rainfall or even more than an inch. The Euro is a bit more robust, showing up to 1.12 inches of rainfall. The GFS only up to 0.98 of an inch of rainfall. We'll see exactly what unfolds with that. Either way, there's consensus. Rainfall is in the forecast for the northeast across Jamaica for tomorrow. We're indeed grateful. We're in the month of December. We'll take all the rainfall that we can get to put a dent in the upcoming drought that we usually receive in the months of February, March, and April. Alright, so that is it for the forecast across Jamaica. Let us focus our attention on the rest of the Caribbean. So we do see some amount of clouds right there plaguing sections of the Windward Island with some amount of overcast skies and isolated showers. Some clouds right there to the south of Jamaica associated with the leftovers of that cold front. We can also see some clouds affecting portions of Honduras, Belize, coming into sections of Cuba, northern Hispaniola, some of which are going to be affecting Jamaica tonight into tomorrow. Some clouds affecting portions of Colombia, southern Venezuela. Not so much in the way of rainfall affecting sections of the Leeward Islands or Guyana at this time, but definitely sections of Suriname and French Guiana getting in on some amount of overcast skies and rainfall. If we take a look at the Doppler radar images of the northeastern Caribbean right now, we don't see much happening. Lots of hit or miss showers right there to the east of Guadeloupe. Not much happening across majority of the area at all. But when we take a look southward on the Barbados radar, we don't see much happening across Barbados right now. But all the rainfall is right there to the south of Barbados. We don't see the clouds associated with that trough pushing or in a hurry to leave. Majority of these rain bands are actually stalling out, so they're basically lingering in the area. Some of this taking place across sections of Grenada as we speak. Maybe section of Tobago later on tonight. We'll see exactly what unfolds. As it relates to the wider view of Doppler radar images, we can see some rainfall right there as we just saw in the satellite images across sections of Belize. This relates to the temperature forecast for tomorrow. Majority of the Caribbean should be receiving average temperatures for tomorrow. This map is valid for 18th on Thursday, and we do see the average temperatures. Majority of the Greater Antilles should be getting below average temperatures. The southeastern Caribbean should be getting in on those above normal temperatures. So anywhere from Dominica southward, Martinique, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Barbados, Trinidad and Tobago, sections of Guyana, Suriname, French Guiana, above normal temperatures. As relates to the Saharan dust for 2 p.m. on Thursday, majority of the Caribbean should be in the clear, only some slight brown shades that represent the low end of the scale in terms of Saharan dust. For anywhere to the south of Dominica, so Martinique, sections of basically the same areas that the temperatures are going to be warmest. So with the dust or the slight dusty weather comes the heat, I guess. So definitely sections of Barbados, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Trinidad and Tobago, Guyana, sections of Suriname as well. But we can see that majority of the vigorous plume of dust is, as represented by those darker shades of browns, should be across majority of the main development region and Africa. As relates to the wave forecast, we do see those purples right there to the north of the Caribbean, maybe northern coastal areas of Hispaniola, northern coastal areas of Puerto Rico, definitely northern coastal areas of Jamaica. And that's because the winds are going to be strongest are coming in from those directions from the northeast, as we can see for tomorrow, averaging anywhere from 20 to 25 knots, especially across the greater Antilles where we're expected to get those cooler than average temperatures. All courtesy of that cold front. The Eastern Caribbean, not so much in terms of winds. We see more new blows that represent anywhere from 5 to 10 knots. And as it relates to the rainfall forecast, this is why we're here, the meat of the matter now. Where do we see the consensus? Where do we see the agreement for rainfall? We see that across sections of the Bahamas, northwestern Cuba, coastal areas of the Yucatan Peninsula, Belize. If they're not already getting that rainfall right now, it's definitely going to be coming some more. Areas to the south of Jamaica and northeastern Jamaica, as we stated earlier. Sections of coastal areas of Costa Rica, Panama, sections of Colombia, the ABC Islands definitely going to be getting in some amount of rainfall finally. Coastal areas of Venezuela, Trinidad and Tobago, maybe some isolated rainfall for Trinidad and Tobago. Sections of Grenada, more rainfall, Barbados, not so much rainfall for areas to the north of St. Vincent, but we do see that rainfall in store for sections of northern Hispaniola, Puerto Rico as well. And we can see some isolated rainfall for sections of the Cayman Islands too. We can also see some rainfall if we take a look southward across sections of Guyana, Suriname, and French Guyana. And we know that when both maps from the Euro and the GFS are showing something similar like this, the chances of it actually happening are much higher. Alright, so that's it for today. Thanks for watching.